is just thinking about the griha, the house. Griha vrata also, just thinking I have to be happy, I have to take care of my house, the children, which is necessary also. But Krishna has to be in the center. And then grihastha. Grihastha means he stays, grihastha ashram. Grihastha, he stays in the griha, in the house, but his house is an ashram. That is grihastha ashram. There in the grihastha ashram, the Lord is there and the Lord is worshipped. And spiritual practice is there. And then he can advance, the grihastha. And he can also attain perfection, the householder. And then, but still then after some time, so as mentioned here, so he had wife and children. But then at one point, that has to be given up. And that is vanaprast. But now also there are two kinds, actually there are more than two kinds, but basically two kinds. One is like Bharat Maharaj. So he left everything. He left the kingdom, he left his family, he left his ministers, his children, his servants, his wealth, everything. Just some simple cloth he had. And he went to the forest and worshipped the Lord. And he was highly advanced, bhavavasta, almost perfect. So that is one kind of vanaprast, going alone. And the second is, and which is mostly the case, vanaprast, that is Prithu Maharaj. It is mentioned, he went alone to the forest, accompanied by his wife. So he went alone to the forest, means he left the kingdom, he left his servants, his ministers, his money, his everything. But he was accompanied by his wife. And she has to leave also everything. The saris, the jewelry. And usually ladies have many saris. I don't want to ask how many you have. But I know the ladies have many clothes. 10, 20, 15 or 25 saris sometimes. And salwar and kameez or whatever, so many clothes, more than the man. But it's okay. They can have. It is allowed. And they have nice jewelry. If they're married, Mangal Sutra. And they have bangles here also. And earrings. You're not married? You're married? Okay, you have Mangal Sutra? Okay, you have earrings?
I have.
Okay, they are there, they're very small, or don't know the earring, or?
My baggage was missed at that.
Oh, your baggage was missed. Oh, and your jewelry isn't there. Okay. And therefore you came to surrender to Krishna. Krishna, help me. Okay, what to do?
Everything was in my clothes.
Okay.
My green.
Yeah, but Krishna is there to help you, don't worry. But he's testing you, so you surrender more. You have a japa mala? You have a japa mala?
At home.
At home. In Delhi. You didn't bring it. So Krishna tricked you. To teach you a lesson, you should always have your japamala. You have mobile?
Yes.
You took it? You have it?
But charger was in my bag.
Yeah. So you should take it. Krishna is just teaching you a lesson. That you should always have your bead bag. Your bead bag is more important than your mobile. Like for example, with your mobile you can call your family. I'm sure you can get a charger also, the devotees will help you.
Yeah.
Okay, he is helping you, yeah. But I'm asking you, you can call Krishna? You can call Bhagavan with your phone? No. No, he doesn't have a phone. Yeah. Only you can call from here to India, to America, but you want to call to India, right? So, but you cannot call the spiritual world. They don't have a phone, they don't need. They have communication by the heart. And transcendental communication is there by the heart. And now we can see on the phone, we can see now the new phones are there, you can see a video, you can, yeah. So even the devotees sometimes they use, and the children, Krishna series there, they can see some video and nicely. But the pure devotees, they don't need like to see videos because they are chanting the Mahamantra and they are connecting to Krishna. They can speak to Krishna, they can hear Krishna, they can see Krishna, they can see Krishna's pastimes by chanting the holy names. So next time you take your bead bag with you. Whenever I go somewhere, and we have, sometimes even I have, a big suitcase because here you need more cloth. I came from India also, it was 48, 49, 50 degrees. I heard Delhi it was one day 52 degrees. Very hot. So I thought I'd come to the West for a little while. And so then I had a suitcase with some warm cloth also, because for us it's a little cool here, right? So we have a little sweater. So then I pack my bag, and whenever I go, first I check I have my bead bag or not. And then second, because we need a passport, I check if my passport. And third is the mobile. And then okay, because even if I lose my bag or whatever, if I have my bead bag, then I'm okay. And I can go to the temple and devotees will help me. So that is most important. So you have a bead bag, but you didn't bring it. Next time you will bring it, okay? Yeah. And you're chanting also japa? No, that is another problem. You have a bead bag, many times we ask and they say no. So you have a bead bag, you have to chant also. And you have to chant the Maha Mantra, okay?
But not with the
bead bag.
Bead bag. I do
Okay.
In fact, every day
You do.
I do, whenever I was traveling or
Okay.
I'm doing cooking or whatever.
Yeah.
I just do Hare Krishna or
Yeah, that's
Shri
good.
Krishna Govinda Hare Murari.
Yeah, that's okay.
Or
Sri Krishna Mamaram Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna
Sharanam Mama. I surrender to Krishna.
Govinda Hare
In Murari.
He Nath
Tanata,
Narayan Vasudeva.
very good.
Om Krishna Vasudeva Hare Paramatmane.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Shai Govinda.
Very good. Yeah, that is good also.
I do, but not with that.
Yeah, but it is mentioned actually by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that in the age of Kali we should have a japa mala, and that will help.
Yeah.
Then you can chant more.
My mother.
Your mother is doing.
Yes.
I know, your grandmother also did.
My mother and when they took the Guru Diksha,
Yes.
after that they do this.
Yeah, yes.
But I haven't taken the
No,
Guru Diksha
but
yet.
still you should do, and then you should do it on japa, and then you will take diksha also. That is usually our process. We chant, and then we take diksha, and then he will give us also empowerment. Yeah, he'll give special mantra also like Gayatri mantra.
Yeah.
But the Maha mantra you can chant without diksha. That is mentioned also. And the Maha mantra is most important mantra. Okay? All right. Hare Krishna. So, yeah, anyhow, so much more to say, but slowly but surely we have to conclude. So in other words here, so the point is that, so Prithu Maharaj, so he went to the forest also, and then he lived very simple, and his wife also. And then the wife cannot ask, in Vanaprastha ashram, she will not ask the husband, I need a new sari, I need some jewelry. She cannot take some costly jewelry that is not taken for the Vanaprastha. So similarly, King Priyavrata, so he was a good brahmachari, and he was educated in spiritual education, and he was trained as a king. But then he entered the Grihastha ashram, and actually he was appearing like he was attached to the family. And if you're a married person, you must have some attachment. It is natural, and it will come naturally. Husband and wife, they are attached to each other, they are attached to the children, and vice versa. That is natural. But Krishna has to be in the center, and one has to be more attached to Krishna than anything else, than even the family. But the natural attachment is there, and there is no harm. But because he was attached to Krishna also, at a certain point, then Priyavrata, he was able to give up his also attachment to anything of this world. And that Shukadeva Goswami will explain in these later verses also. So in other words, in conclusion, we have to keep Krishna in the center and understand that we have to try to be absorbed as much as possible in chanting the holy names, in reading the scriptures, in serving Krishna, and we have to be under the guidance of a devotee who is more advanced, and then we can also advance nicely. So that we should understand that the king's question is understandable, and Shukadeva Goswami, he will very nicely answer the king about Priyavrata, that actually is a great devotee, and only it was appearing that he was attached, but he was always firmly situated in Krishna consciousness, and therefore he was able to give up the attachment. And we have to also, even if you're a household, ultimately we have to do that also in later years. But in the household ashram, we have to make an endeavor to be nicely engaged in spiritual activities, at least in the morning and in the evening. And of course the wife is always at home usually, and so then the wife has to try to see that she can be more, and therefore you can see in India many times the ladies are more inclined to go to the temple, and because they have more time during the day also to hear about Krishna and to worship Krishna. So if Krishna is in the center, and if we try to approach Krishna, then Krishna will help us also, whatever our situation may be, and then we can advance nicely. But we have to take shelter of Mahaprabhu also, who is the Kali Yuga avatar, and especially we have to take shelter of the advanced devotees, Gurujan, so we may advance nicely and we can get the blessings of Hari Guru Vaishnav. Hare Krishna. So 10 to 9, so we stop, or anyone has any important question? So, yes, okay.
You mentioned how everybody can advance.
Yes.
But then you also mentioned how the Brahmanas naturally, they, being very close to Krishna, they study, they worship.
Right.
And I was thinking about Srila Prabhupada in the Upadeshamrita, where he says the advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude.
Yes.
We also see sometimes Brahmanas, even though they're exalted, but they are not Krishna conscious.
No.
And sometimes some more Shudra type, they are very Krishna.
Yes.
So what is this attitude? What's the
attitude, the essence of the attitude? Yes. Humility. One has to be humble. I'm insignificant, and then one has to be tolerant and respectful towards others. And of course, Das Anudas, I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. So that is most important, that we should be humble and respectful, in essence. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam 11 canto, and there's a description there was one Brahmana. He was worshipping the deity. And so outside his house, opposite his house, there was one prostitute. Her name was Pingala. So people were coming to her, and so he was doing his worship, and he was looking, and he was somehow, distracted, because a prostitute was there, but it was his fault. And he was thinking, what is this lady here across the street, and she's entertaining different men? It's just disgusting. So his attitude was not proper, although he was worshipping the Lord. But he didn't have the proper respect. It was his fault. And this prostitute, she was looking at the Brahmana order also. And she was thinking, oh, I'm so fallen somehow because my husband left me, and now I'm in this position, and I don't have much qualification, and somehow but I have a beautiful body, and people are attracted to my body, and so I'm maintaining myself by entertaining different men. But I wish that in the future I can also be like that Brahmana, and I can worship the Lord. And she was thinking like this. And so she became more advanced, and he became degraded. So that is the position. So we have to have the proper attitude, and so that is the humility that I am insignificant, and we should have respect towards others also. And we should not think we are better than others. Like if one is a pujari, he should not think I'm better than others. Oh, this person is just cleaning the floor, I'm better. But for anyone actually, like, if one is a Sankirtan devotee distributing books, oh, this is pleasing to Prabhupada, I'm Sankirtan devotee, I'm better than the pujari cannot distribute books, that's why he's worshipping the deities. And sometimes it was here like this also. In the old days here, the book distribution was there, and then they were thinking those who can not do book distribution nicely, they are pujaris. But we are superior than the pujaris. But no, we should always be humble, whatever is our position, and respect others. And think, oh, he's a pujari, he's fortunate, he's serving the Lord, which is true. And even it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, 3 kinds of devotees are there, first class, second class, third class. First class is seeing Krishna everywhere, in everyone's heart, and seeing that everything is related to Krishna. And is always absorbed with body, mind and words in the service of Krishna. Second, he is not yet so advanced, but he has faith in the Lord. And he's respecting others, and he's taking shelter of those who are more advanced. But then he's dealing nicely with other devotees, exchanging his realizations with those on the same platform, and he's helping those who are junior to him. And then others are there who are neophyte, it is mentioned, but that we have to understand properly also. It is mentioned that even those who are worshipping the deities, but if they are not dealing nicely with others, they are known as Kanishta, Prakrita Bhakta, materialistic devotees, neophyte. But it doesn't mean that the pujari is neophyte. It means if one is a pujari, but if he doesn't know how to deal with others, then he is neophyte. So, but the pujari actually is supposed to be exalted. And he's supposed to be absorbed in hearing and chanting about Krishna. And if he's properly following the process, then he will become exalted after some time. So that is there, that we have to understand. So the mentality is very important, so the humility, respect towards others has to be there. And then one has to, so we have to constantly check our consciousness, and because the mind is very, actually in conditioned state, the mind is, well, it can be our friend, or we have to make the mind our friend, but mostly is our enemy in a conditioned state. So we have to try to control the mind, and by beating him sometimes with a stool, or with a shoe, or with a stick, or we have to give him some good instructions. And then, and sometimes you have to neglect the mind also, and do our duty. But understand that we are different from the material mind, from the material consciousness. And so, Sambandha Gyan, we have to serve with Sambandha Gyan. I am the insignificant servant of Krishna. And we have to do japa with Sambandha Gyan, we have to worship the deities with Sambandha Gyan. And whatever we do, so I am the eternal servant of Krishna, I am not this body, I am spirit soul. That Sambandha Gyan has to be there, we have to be fixed in that. And then we have to always beg for the mercy of Hari Guru and the exalted Vaishnavas, so that we can be protected from not having the proper consciousness. Is that all right? Okay. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Mukunda Datta Prabhu ki. Srila Prabhupada ki.
breakfast time.
Breakfast time. So when are you back coming, Mataji?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Yesterday they were telling you, okay, we'll come today, but not come. We have gone to airport. We didn't find a bag. Maybe today they are saying yes.
Yeah, you get more time for chanting. Don't have to put all this.
Ladi kommen halt nicht.
So maybe you have to give her a bean bag and talk about
Yes. Can I give you?
I know.
Why not?
I will do
We chant on your fingers.
yes.
Okay? Yeah, that's also good. Okay. Okay.
Das man nur sagt, das werden wir wenn sie nicht bekommen, du willst ihnen einfach sagen, ja, das soll sie nehmen immer nur ganz wenig, weil sie haben Angst, dass wenn sie zu viel bekommen, das materielle Leben ist das so.